Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the First Ones to Die podcast. I'm Jonathan. I'm here with my lovely fellow co-hosts, Alex and Jerome. How are y'all doing? Alex, you're in a festive mood right now. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I like how festive is the book. I'm doing good, not bad. It's been a pretty average week for me, which I find is now a good steady normal, and I appreciate that. I like not having insane things happening to me anymore. So it's good. I don't have I did break my desk chair, which is why I'm sitting in my lounge chair. So there is that. But other than that, everything's fine. I did fall down the stairs this morning. But after that, I'm good. I'm good. Jerome, how you doing? What's going on with you?
I got in a car crash and
I was just about to say, I'm just like, yeah, I did get attacked by a bear, but that's okay.
But it's all right. It's all right.
It's all right. I'm just missing one leg. Ain't no big deal.
I'm fine. Nothing. Ibuprofen and ice can't fix. I'm good. Jerome, you have more exciting news.
Yeah, I moved. I am excited about it, but I am exhausted from moving, the process of moving. So, listeners, if I'm not as animated as I often am, that is the reason why. But I am excited. I have my own apartment now. Is currently, if you're watching the video version, everything's all blurred out, and that's because nothing is set yet. Like I have. So until I get this place looking like something, it might be blurred for a little bit longer, till I get some boxes put away and whatnot. But I'm excited. I'm glad to have a new space and start a new chapter in my life where I get to kind of be on my own and do the things I want to do when I want to do them. So, yeah.
To the freedom train.
Yeah. I mean, when I finally stopped living with my sister, it was great. It's so nice just to like leave stuff on the floor and not have to worry about somebody else complaining about it. That was my favorite thing. I can leave my socks everywhere, which is a habit I have had since I was a child. I don't know why. But so you get to do little stuff like that just make your day.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see your new place. I'm going to go in there and bother you. And how you doing, Jonathan?
Good. I'm doing good. Busy week as per usual. Yeah, but I'm excited for the festive season. I got to see on the Warner Brothers lot, I got to see Taye Diggs. He was smiling like this.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I could see that being accurate. Yeah, I could see that.
Like you're throwing shade at Taye Diggs for some reason.
No. I love Taye Diggs, but he was just when we drove past, he was just smiling like.
I mean, he was being polite, a little awkward, but polite.
So yeah, that was cool. And some of my coworkers got to meet Mr. Mosby, Phil Lewis, from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And he actually said, "No running in my lobby" to them while they were recording.
I feel like he does know that everybody wants him to say. Like, I bet he regrets it. Kind of like for a while, everybody regretted like the Wakanda Forever when so many people were just doing this.
Yeah, I remember
there's that moment of like.
Heck, I had somebody do that to me and I wasn't even in the movie. It was just one black girl. She saw I had a Black Panther comic book in my hand and she was just like, "Hey." Like, okay, Wakanda Forever.
Well, that's more appropriate. I thought you were gonna say all of a sudden she just saw that you was black and just said, Wakanda Forever.
Okay, yeah, okay, you did have like something, but yeah, I was going with I'm like, a lot of people were like, just everything, and it's just like,
well, if you're in the movie, that's the context, for the actors. It's just like, yeah, Chadwick Boseman, people are going to walk up. Well, not right now, but when he was alive, they would walk up to him and be like, "Wakanda Forever," because he's Black Panther. Like,
well, you have a Black Panther comic book, so they made a connection. They were trying to meet you there.
What's funny is the comic I had was of Black Panther Man Without Fear, which is when he's the lead. He's not Black Panther anymore. He's actually, if anything, he's Daredevil for a week. because Daredevil stops protecting New York, and so Black Panther's like, well, I'm not Black Panther anymore, so but I still want to fight crime. Mind if I just substitute in for a little bit? And Daredevil's like, sure, go for it. I don't care.
So he's just like, my vacation, I'm not finding retirement as good as I liked it. Can I like just tap into some other worlds here and there?
It's more or less self-exile, actually. So he just has to deal. Funny enough, though, that is also the time when Shuri was Black Panther.
Let's not get into Fury because we.
Yeah, I don't know where that storyline is gonna go now.
Yeah, which there's been more developing stuff this week that's happening.
Oh yeah, they
Dang
kicked
it.
her out. She's gone.
Officially?
Yeah,
I
they're
just
gonna
heard
replace her.
like rumors and stuff.
I've heard officially now they're going to replace her. Because even if she is or is not refusing this vaccine, she is now not allowed to travel back into this country. Currently at the time because of the so even if they were like, yeah, okay, you're fine, don't get the vaccine, she can't come back to the country, and they've already stopped a lot of production.
And that's a lot of money.
Yeah, especially
that's what I'm saying. You know how much money it costs just to shoot for one day? Like,
yeah.
And then it's a Disney set at that.
Well,
like,
then she went and like, what did she break her leg or she got hurt?
She hurt herself. They've been vague with what the injury was, but it was serious enough that she had to rest for all these months.
Yeah, and then she went back to England, and then more controversy happened. So it's like they already stopped filming because of the death of Chad Boswick, and then they stopped filming because she got injured, and then all this other stuff. They were like, "Look, you're not worth it. You're a favorite, but you're not that much of a favorite. You're kind of killing your persona every day." So they're like, "We're gonna replace you." I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Nope. It's actually that was a rumor.
That was a rumor?
I'm looking at Screen Rant right now. It says, according to a new report, Black Panther Wakanda Forever star Letitia Wright will be continuing with the project despite rumors of her possible exit surfacing earlier this month.
Curious what they're gonna do.
I read something today that they were like, yeah, we're just not going to anymore because
especially if she's overseas, they can't move the production over to London.
It says that Panther 2 is indeed on track to resume production in late January in Atlanta. And says that, and they added to say that Wright will in fact be present on set, essentially shutting down any rumors of her exit. So they just pushed back their schedule for her again, I guess.
Yeah.
I think by then something else gonna happen.
We'll see. I mean, listen, it's a developing thing, so we'll see where it goes from here.
I gotta find what I read then, because they were like, look, they've shut down production now twice because of her. Basically, and they're like, maybe it would have been like a third strike. You shut down production for a third time. This is it. No more. We can't.
I mean, I don't know, but listen, we're not here to talk about Wakanda Forever.
No, we're talking about other Black people.
We're talking about all the Black people that are tied to Disney.
That's true. Yes.
A Christmas Dance Reunion, a Lifetime movie.
A Lifetime Christmas movie. Those are different.
Are they?
No, they are, because Lifetime Christmas movies are fun and colorful, and they have a storyline, and it's fun. But Lifetime movies are always really dramatic.
Oh yeah,
like to do the zoom in, and they always end up with
husband
a teenager
killed
dying.
Somebody. You ever seen that SNL sketch about it, where it's like all the wives from a Lifetime movie are on a game show? Like,
it's
What's Wrong with Tanya?
Yeah, I love that skit. Also, Bill Hader on it.
The one where like Anna Faris, I think, was that host that time, and she was just like, "You're hurting me. Who's gonna believe you?" It's just like, yeah, that's a Lifetime movie.
Like everything looks pleasant on the outside, sweet,
and then something, and all of a sudden,
that's pretty much all. Like, what's wrong with Tanya? There's nothing wrong with her. Not yet. We're getting to that game. No, that's a good one with Bill Hader too, and I absolutely love him. I think
he's still my favorite SNL alum. It's between my top three are him, Jason Sudeikis, and Eddie Murphy.
I keep forgetting that he was technically part of SNL.
Same.
I always forget that.
I love.
He was the
Eddie
only one they
Murphy.
kept after the, because the 80s was the darkest time for SNL and they fired everybody but Eddie.
I
He's
love
the only
Eddie
one that survived.
Murphy, Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph, I love her.
I love
Kristen
Maya.
Wiig, I'm iffy on.
Mm.
I think, unfortunately, she is one of those actors and actresses that have a range. And sometimes she'll branch out of it, and it's like you know, with
Stayed in.
yeah,
Wonder Woman.
yeah, that wasn't her area.
Yeah, Wonder Woman probably, isn't the, but I like her as she's funny. She's funny to me.
No, she's absolutely funny. I think she's a great actress in a lot of
I
other
like her in
stuff.
Skeleton Twins. I think she
Yeah.
can do drama.
Mm.
Loved her in Ghostbusters. I just don't think she was. Yeah.
I thought she was okay in Ghostbusters.
But anyway, back to the movie.
Anyway,
A Christmas dance reunion.
We keep getting taken off
How
things.
did-
I
how did
think
we
this
get to
might be
SNL?
proof positive. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna put it out full disclosure. I didn't finish this movie. I'm sitting in the unfinished category this week.
Jerome finally has one.
so if there was anybody last week that was like, man, F Jonathan for not finishing Arcane, F Alex for not finishing Dune, now y'all can say the same for Jerome.
Actually, Jonathan, you're 2 for 2 because it's Arcane and Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't even start that. I wasn't even on the episode.
Yes,
Okay.
you
Yes,
were.
you were. You're thinking of King Kong.
Yeah, Kong, you weren't on the
weren't
episode.
on there.
You
No,
were on
I
Justice
watched
League?
I watched the Justice League that came out in theaters. So,
So,
and that was
So,
a full
a
2.5
Christmas
hours
dance-
I
of
say
my
all
life.
that to say I've only watched half the movie, so I can judge half of it, and it was a Lifetime movie. Like that's
it was a
much I
lifetime
can say
Christmas
about
movie.
that.
We're gonna.
um
So the summary of this movie is
Yeah.
basically a successful attorney. Her name is Lucy, who is played by the lovely Monique Coleman, who you might have seen from High School Musical, is reunited with her childhood Christmas dance partner Barrett, who is played by Corbin Bleu. As the pair give the resort a new lease of life, and the passion between the pair heats up. The resort is owned by Corbin Bleu's character Barrett and his father, and they're trying to save it because that's where they did all their contest routines. Which I will say, and I told Jerome this earlier, I was talking to my mom about this movie, and she was like, "Oh, I'm happy you guys picked that one. That didn't look like the rest of the ones. The other ones kind of looked like very cookie cutter style." I was like, "Mom, this movie starts off with her immediate being like, the father's dead. She has to now save a location where she did a dance routine all the time." And she's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, within the first 15 minutes, you get those two stereotypic plots." Oh, and she's back home and she's brought work from home from her big city life. I was like, they just threw it in so quickly. They didn't even pretend or try to play out or keep one storyline. They're like, let's get every stereotype Lifetime movie in there.
So for those who don't know, Monique Coleman and Corbin Bleu starred together in the High School Musical series. So this is a reunion for them. It's not only a Christmas dance reunion, but it's a High School Musical reunion as well, which is why I found out about the movie, because people were posting about it like on Instagram and stuff, like, "Oh my gosh, they're back together again, blah blah blah," and it brought the nostalgia back.
Yeah.
She does not look like she aged, by the way. I just want to say that. Monique Coleman is gorgeous. She does not look like she aged a day. She looks older, but she looks amazing.
I think they both look good, even though y'all were shading him last week.
No.
Without the hair, I'm sorry, he don't look right. He don't.
The shorter hair does make him look. It does make him appear older.
You can't keep that youthful, curly, like.
Yes, you can.
For,
yes, you can.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can, but like sometimes, usually chopping off the hair is a sign of maturity. And I guess that's what he wanted to do.
Okay,
I try to grow my hair back out.
You really think that if I wasn't losing my hair, that I wouldn't be busting a flat top fade? All right, I would.
Jerome, if you're I don't.
All right, okay. No, you can keep the youthful flavor going.
Both of you guys keep your hair short.
Like he just looks weird without all the hair. I'm sorry. And you know what it is? It's because of the 5 o'clock shadow. It's I'm not used to seeing Corbin Bleu with 5 o'clock shadow and short hair.
It makes him look like a young middle-aged man.
He looks creepy.
It looks weird. All right. He's a very good actor. He did amazing with his dancing. But like
he's a good dancer. I'll give him that.
Like he's supposed to be way older than what he actually. It throws everything off. All right.
It's just the way he talks, the way he conducts himself with the hair and the way he looks the whole time. I just kept wanting to be like, I don't know, Monique. Something ain't right with him. I don't know what it is. But I'm telling you now.
You think there was going to be a plot twist to this movie where he was actually a murderer or something?
Yeah, she's going to find bodies in that resort or something. I don't know. Yeah, we haven't had the dance. We're going to cancel the Christmas because I killed everybody. All the attendees. The bow just will not.
Yeah, I was like, oh, just trying to, because my background's a mess, but I was like, oh, screw it. I want my bow.
Funny enough, out of the High School Musical cast, Corbin Bleu and Monique Coleman, yes, I know this, they were the only two cast members on Dancing with the Stars. They each competed on the show.
I feel like to be on Dancing with the Stars, though, shouldn't it be people who don't dance, for the entertainment factor?
JoJo Siwa was just on Dancing with the Stars, and she was on Dance Moms as a kid.
She killed it. Oh, I watched.
You know what I mean? Like she can dance. She shouldn't be on Dancing with the Stars. You got to pick people who aren't good at dancing, so that they can then learn how to dance, and we can see their journey as they go from being trash.
We're trailing off again. Focus.
But anyway, they were both on Dancing with the Stars. I think Monique she was on one of the earlier seasons, like when High School Musical was like popping. She got 4th, I think, and then Corbin Bleu was on one of the later seasons, and he got 2nd, I want to say.
Do you think Corbin Bleu got her this job to be in this movie?
maybe, or I think they wrote it specifically for them.
Yeah,
because they're
saying, because we've seen at least Corbin Bleu be in a little bit of stuff after High School Musical. I don't know anything Monique has done since High School Musical.
Yeah, she's been more low key.
So I wonder if he pulled her in the fold. Like, look, it's a Lifetime movie. It's not like a lot of heavy lifting as far as, like you don't have to really travel or deal with a bunch of CGI or anything like that. It's real cool.
Yeah, but it's
movie.
Very warm on that set. The amount of Christmas lights they use.
I know, and
I'm pulling it back to them. Yeah.
In Christmas,
I don't want to pay that power bill.
In Christmas movies, they probably filmed this in like Canada or something, but when they film Christmas movies in LA, like they usually film in summer, and they have to wear those heavy coats in the LA heat. Yeah.
Or and there's also like all those sweaters, the Christmas sweaters, and then the lights, everything. Christmas is actually very warm. It's cold outside, but it's a very warm like holiday. You have the ovens going because you're cooking or you're baking. Which, by the way, I was when I was watching it, I always found it funny how in like all the stereotypic Christmas films, when it comes to the person who's coming back to reclaim Christmas, why does it look like they have never celebrated Christmas before? Why do they act this way? How do I put the ornaments on properly? And the scene where she's making cookies, like decorating them, has she never done? Yeah,
well, she at least she did hers pretty okay, because Corbin Bleu, I did get that part. And then they do the little cookie competition. I was just like, I don't know what are you doing? Just do you not? And then when she hands him the spatula, I'm like, exactly, idiot. Where do you
said I'm gonna make an elf and then just splattered green all over the cookie.
He works at like a lodge.
And then use his finger
Christmas
to spread it. Which also, if you're gonna use your finger to spread, it's COVID out, sir. All right, this movie came out in 2021, so I know they filmed it in 2020. There's no way they weren't aware of the pandemic.
That's true. You know what? Yeah.
And the s'mores part where she's like, I forgot how much I love s'mores. Which, side note, I didn't realize s'mores was a holiday thing for some people.
It's not.
It's not.
Okay.
It's like camping. And
It's a camping thing.
if you're by
Yeah.
a fire, you make a s'more. That's it.
Right. It's not a holiday thing. That's a camping, or like if there's like an open fire, like, hey, let's make some s'mores type thing. That's what that is. Although I'm not one of those crazy people who like, because you know, most s'mores, it's you put the marshmallow on the stick and then put it over the fire. But some people, they like to do the whole thing over like an ember or whatever with like the graham
sorry,
cracker
what?
chocolate and marshmallow with
How
it.
is that? How does it stay
Ooh,
together?
well,
No, you don't put it on the stick. You put it like on like you put like a little like grill.
Oh, like a tray or something?
Like a tray or something, like over the fire,
Oh.
and they'll do the whole thing on the fire. And I'm
That's
like,
too
No,
chaotic
that's still
for
wrong.
me.
That still sounds wrong. No. Who's doing that?
It's not the
Who-
same.
Who are these people that you know are doing this? Because I need you to
Well, I
not.
don't know people doing this.
Oh,
I'm just
okay,
saying
'cause I'm
I've
like-
heard of that people do that.
Because I'm horrified, and if these
I want
people
some
in their
s'mores
life, they're
now.
not good people. I am not that
Get
fan
you
of
some
that big a
s'more
fan of
Oreos.
s'mores.
And you'll be just as satisfied.
I don't
Also,
like. There's too much sugar.
Why don't you like s'mores?
It's too much at once, and I'm not a fan. Like I like one, maybe I'll eat one, and after that,
That's
I'm
what the
not like a
graham
fan.
crackers for. The graham crackers
It's
supposed
too
to
much. It's too
stop the
much.
sugar.
I actually didn't have my first s'more until I was like 19, 20. And we were all hanging. It was me and my stepdad, my sister, and my stepdad, who's a big camper guy and all this stuff. He's like, oh, let's make s'mores. Me and my sister, I think my sister had one, but I'm like, oh, I've never had one. He's like, what? Why have you never had one? Blah, blah, blah. My mom's like, she's never left the city. She is a city girl.
Okay, you can
does not
still
go to
have
her.
a fire pit somewhere and just get like, heck, just go on down to the nearest hobo place and find a trash fire or something. I don't know.
When I hung around fire pits as a kid, what ended up in the fire was one time an Axe body spray. I wasn't hanging around the kids making s'mores. I was hanging around the kids you ran from. It wasn't a good. Some of them were good. Don't get me wrong. I love my childhood friend, but like they were the safest people, and we shouldn't have been around a fire in the first place. But like it's not something I'm gonna be like, oh, there's a fire, I need a s'more. If somebody's like, let's make s'mores, I'm like, yeah, cool. Also, I just, it's a good treat, but like one, that's it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can agree with that. It's
Okay.
so sweet. But I do love s'mores. So about the movie. Okay. First,
this
I
has
have
been the
I have
least
some
structure
notes.
because normally what we do.
Didn't you say that about
we
the
do, like-
last one too?
What?
That it was a really uncoordinated episode.
No,
Yeah.
the last one was fine. No, this one is uncoordinated because it's like normally we do like a what's it called? A non-spoiler section. Then we do a spoiler section. Well, we've just been all over the place. Jumping in.
S'mores,
In all
SNL,
fairness, this is a
Shuri,
Lifetime
Justice League.
Christmas film, and I love them. It is one of my big guilty pleasures. I love watching them because it is the same plotline. So there's not really a spoiler moment. What
Yeah.
happens
True.
is
You know what's gonna happen in the
I
end.
did say to Alex before recording this that like even though I didn't finish the movie, I know exactly what's going to happen at the end of the film. So there's almost no need for me to watch the rest of this movie because I already know how it goes.
I mean, you get to watch them have that beautiful kiss in front of the big Christmas tree in the stove. That's always the thing. I enjoy it.
And the dance sequence at the very end with
Mhm.
everybody, all the cast.
Together,
Very fun.
together, everyone. Is that the one?
I mean, if you put Santa hats on the people in High School Musical, this is basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
So the first thing that I wanted to bring up, what kind of name is Barrett Brewster, and why did they decide to have Corbin Bleu named him?
a white man, because this script was meant for white people, but they just ended up getting a black
Lucy,
cast.
Barrett,
Lucy
that's
and
true.
Barrett. There's no way these were black names they chose.
I will give you Barrett. But Lucy, I've met black people named Lucy.
I have never
And
met a
Lucy's
black girl named Lucy.
Really? I've met one. I'll give you
No.
Me neither.
And even then, if I did, bet money her real name is Lucille, and people just call her Lucy.
While we're on the topic of names, the kid's name was what was the kid's name? Posey. The kid's name was Posey.
But that one's fair because it's like people are naming their kids weird names nowadays.
That's true. It tracked.
That one tracks because it's just people name their kids weird names nowadays.
She's white too. Like, it's just...
I love that
Well, the
nobody's.
kid was actually white in the movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Right.
no, that's why.
That's why her name was Posey.
Although she was darker than her mommy. That
That
little girl had a tan
because they
compared to
play
her
in the
mother.
sun. You know?
They're outside.
They're outside.
What was your second point?
I had a couple points. Oh yeah, the main thing that was kind of distracting. Like I had a good time watching it. It was fun. It brought me more into the spirit because I haven't really been feeling that much in the Christmas spirit this year. And this kind of kicked it off. I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta watch some.
I'm bringing in the holiday.
Last week I went Christmas shopping and got some decorations and stuff, but I haven't had time to put them up. This week today I went Christmas shopping a little bit. Tomorrow I'm actually going to put them up, and this movie inspired me to do that because I got more into the mood. Alex, I love how you were just holding that tree up this whole entire time. But
it's
yeah, I will
does
say
not weigh much.
just for Jonathan's reactions earlier to Alex's s'more story, you should tune on into the First Ones to Die YouTube channel to see the visual version of this audio podcast.
Or to see the beautiful Super Mario tree.
Yes.
Or that too.
Yes.
Those are options.
Yeah. And so I'm definitely going to be watching some more Christmas movies within the next week or so. Warner Brothers property, of course. But I'm definitely going to be watching some Christmas movies. But the main thing that bothered me out of this movie was that we did not get a break from the music. There was music constantly in the background of every single scene.
Well, did you watch the version that we watched?
No, because it got taken down when I started to watch it.
Oh, really?
It was back up. I watched it today. It's back up now.
Oh, well, it got taken down when I was watching it.
Okay, but no, I know what you mean. It was like nonstop, like almost like they didn't want the characters to drive the emotion. They're like, no, let the music do it for you.
Right. But I watched it it was actually on free on lifetime.com. So I just watched it.
It was available. Okay. That's good too.
Yeah. But the music that bothered me a little bit. They want people to
watch this movie. They're like, look, we don't make a lot of movies with black characters, all right? So maybe you should you should tune in.
My problem is that they tried to do a lot of sexy dancing for a Christmas festival with children about.
Wait, what do you mean sexy dance? I didn't get to that part. What are they bumping and grinding and whatnot?
Not bumping and grinding. Well, not that type of sexy, but like they for a second did like a little salsa thing, and I'm like, salsa is actually it can be a sexual dance. That's not something you should do, when you're trying to present it around children. Yeah, at Christmas time. But then again, I don't know many Christmas dance routines other than like maybe the Nutcracker, and I've only seen that like once. But the thing I loved was the decorations in this movie. It made me want to like decorate, put up like wreaths and like garland and lights and everything. I actually got lights today, and I'm gonna wrap around Cheddar's tree. He's gonna hate it, but I'm gonna love it, and it's gonna.
Maybe he might climb on him.
I think he'll try to eat one because he's not the brightest of cats. He's a good boy, but he's not the brightest of cats. But it was just I wish sometimes I could have that level of commitment when it comes to like decorating for the holidays that you see in movies, especially like this, where you have the little Santa mailboxes, where you have like the doors wrapped in like gift wrap basically, and all this stuff throughout like the house, where you change the whole format of the house with these decorations.
Right.
I don't have the dedication.
I don't either.
There was not one shot in the film where there was not a wreath present or a snowman or Christmas lights. Every single shot had some aspect of Christmas in it.
That's the Lifetime way, all right?
And I want that. If I ever have a house, I want the Lifetime way. I want to be that extra.
The Lifetime way trademark.
I want to trade out my covers for like plaid going on. I want to have random deer around the house. I don't know why they have a lot of deers, but there's a lot of deers or antlers going on. I would love that level of commitment someday. I guess when I get a house, not now. Although I could do it now, but I don't have that commitment now. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to go like Christmas bomb my apartment.
Here you go. There you go.
See,
Just
the
paint
thing
the walls
is-
red and green.
Is that
and
it's
gold.
like I would do it if it wasn't for the fact that like eventually you gotta take that stuff down. Because you put a lot of work into putting it up, but then you don't realize, oh yeah, I gotta remove all this.
That's what
put
I
it
think of
somewhere after I'm
sometimes.
done.
Yeah, that's what I think of sometimes where it's like when I buy something, I'm like, okay, but then I gotta store this somewhere.
Right.
Am I gonna have room to store this somewhere?
I'll just start at my sister's. It'll be fine.
There you go.
That's what I love a good chunk about these Lifetime movies is the decoration, is the pretty scenery, how it's, you know, of course I understand it's movie magic and blah blah blah, but I love how they always have the snow and the perfect scenes and how they make it that way. The one thing that always does bother me about these Lifetime movies is the wardrobes are gorgeous, but none of them, growing up in the Midwest, I know snowstorms. I know what snow feels like. None of them, not a single one of them is dressed properly for the snow.
Of
You do
course
not wear heels in snow. You do not wear your Converse in the snow. You do not wear scarves on your shoulders.
But to be fair, that's an art direction problem because it's like they should be the ones to tell you to catch that and be like, guys, it's not gonna make sense. She's walking in with high heels and it's been snowing outside. Like, there's no way she's wearing. If she has boots, can we do like a
gloves
nice
either?
boots?
Nobody wears gloves.
No.
Ever.
Oh, of course not.
Both hands.
It's no different than for the longest time. If you watch older movies, people never close doors. Every time you have like a scene where they enter into the household and they're like, hey, how's it going? They enter, but no one closes the door. It's just the camera moves away from the door and then magically the next time you come back, the door is closed. Somebody.
That is going to bother me so much now. Next time I watch a movie, I'm going to not pay attention to the door or to the actors. I'm going to now be looking at the doors.
You know, they used to use for the snow in movies. They used to use, and they still sometimes do, ground up plastic, but then they determined that because people like would sometimes swallow it, and sometimes it's unavoidable to swallow it, then they went to either potato flakes or like some similar substance. But they used to back in the day use asbestos.
I remember that.
Or snow.
That's what they use in The Wizard of Oz too. They use asbestos.
Mm-hmm.
It's always also there's always a light crisp of snow everywhere. You never see it snow, but there's always that thin layer of calms and snow, which honestly with global warming nowadays, it just might just be that way where we don't ever see snow, but somehow there's always snow on the ground. And there's also
I have a bag of fake snow in somewhere.
Did you have some fake snow?
For film stuff.
Yeah, I was like, that would sound weird coming from anybody else, but like from you. The same way you were like, oh yeah, I have a gallon of blood hiding somewhere.
Yeah, I do have fake blood. It's just a pint though. It's just a pint, you know.
I mean, it's something. It's always useful if you just gotta fake your death, just real quick, get out. There's also always that beautiful, what's it called? In the middle of like the town square.
The gazebo.
The gazebo. I can never find a gazebo anywhere. And I've gone to Leavenworth and there's been that beautiful one that's there and it's gorgeous. I want to go have a moment in a gazebo. I don't know what type of moment, but I want it to be a nice moment.
Go to South
in a gazebo.
Carolina. They've got like 4 of them in downtown Charleston. Just a bunch of gazebos.
I don't want to go to Charleston. I want to gazebo. How is there no gazebos in Washington?
I don't
There
know.
probably is. It's just you just gotta find them.
Because there's not as many. It's not like a country small town. So, okay, another Warner Brothers thing. Where did
Jerome
you
just
go?
left.
Oh no, I'm still here. I just have something in my nose and it looks gross.
Oh, okay. You can continue with your story, John.
Anyway, so one of the backlots is called Midwest Town, aka any town USA, because you can make it into any town, and that's where the biggest. Yes, that's where the big gazebo is, most commonly known from Gilmore Girls And in Pretty Little Liars, they actually took it out. But the gazebo, like when you see that, it automatically like you Jerome is back. You automatically think small town when you see that gazebo. And that's I feel like that in a lot of Christmas movies, when you see a gazebo, that's they want to make you feel like you're in a small town.
I think one of the things that makes me romanticize like Lifetime Christmas movies so much was because there was a small town near, not near, I don't actually know how far it was because I was a kid. I never actually really went there as an adult. I want to go back. It was called Long Grove. It was this beautiful, cute little town that had that you would see a Christmas Lifetime movie playing out in. It had like you could take a carriage ride through the snow. There was a little store like almost in the center of town. You would walk downstairs. It was a giant chocolate shop. They had little bakeries. All the air smelled, like sweet, and they had the Forever Christmas shop. So that little town, I think, is a big part of like why I kind of like Lifetime movies Christmas, because it reminds me so much of that cuteness to it, that simplicity of like, this is just a small town, and look, I can take a carriage ride to my car, which is a lot of fun. It's freezing, and you'd always get hot chocolate. Another thing I will say about Lifetime movies, and I don't know why this like jumped into my head when I was watching it, you never see them drink water. It's hot cocoa, yeah. It's wine, it's like
because
juice
they
or
don't
something.
need water. They've got plenty of drinks to drink that isn't water.
I just like in a Lifetime, I'm like, I'm feeling sick. Why do you feel sick? Well, I haven't had actual water in the last 3 days I've been here. So that might be the actual problem.
Someone needs to make a realistic Lifetime movie, and that will be one of the plot points. Someone gets dehydrated because all they've been surviving off of is hot cocoa and wine.
Listen, all I'm saying is we have 3 John Wick movies that take place back to back to back, and that man has survived 3 days off of like a few shots of rum.
He has drunk
and
water.
Halle Berry,
John
yeah,
Wick
Halle
so
Berry
spittle.
spittle. That's all he's had for water.
So, and I say this again, I love like the Christmas films. I was actually trying to look for it. I'll post the TikTok later. My sister sent it to me because again, she knows how much I love it. The guy on the TikTok says he now doesn't believe that not every female character in all the Lifetime Christmas movie is not having an episode of mania. It's a manic episode because they're leaving their high pressure job, their kind of abusive partner possibly, and like coming to the small town and then falling immediate in love with an old boyfriend that they've
heck, for this future. One is even worse because it's like Barrett sends her a random letter and then she's like, yeah, I remember him, and she goes over there and immediately falls for this man, even though she has not seen him since they were like kids,
15 or something.
And he is, I'm sorry, but it's not just how Corbin Bleu looks. It's some of the things Barrett says, at least early on in the first part of the movie.
No, they got
I'm
weird.
Just like, you're seeing weird, dude.
It's kind of like, have you not dated anybody else? Have you been like holding
out for this one person?
Which is super funny when I had thought about it, because I remember watching Freddy versus Jason, and that main character is in love with a guy. She, they're like 18 now. She dated him when they were 14, and she's still like, no, I'm holding out hope for him. And I was like, well, that's stupid. That was over 4 years ago. The guy disappeared. Like, move on. But here I'm like, oh, she's falling back in love with him. Like, no, this is clearly a manic episode.
Well, it's just like agreed. It Chapter 2 did that. Remember how Ben hasn't been with anybody except Bev, like because he's been waiting for Bev all this time, and it's like, and you're adults. It's been like 20 something years.
But it's also weird how Bev moved from what was the guy's name to Ben.
Oh, that's not Pete. What was his name?
Scott?
No.
What's another generic white male name?
George? No, Georgie's the brother.
Yeah. No,
Bill. Bill, that's his name.
Bill.
Oh yeah.
See? Yeah, she went from Bill to we just had to. There's like William, Scott, Peter, George, Stuart. my stepfather, Michael. There's like about a few you can run through. But yeah, it's that, and that like they leave their high power paying job to also take on this huge project. She does this whole thing to save the lodge and everything like that. She's coming from this high pressure job that she's like wanting to, she's not letting go of that anxiety and that stress. She was just projecting it onto a whole nother project.
And she did
making
that
this
behind
man
the
do it,
uncle's,
too.
and she did it behind the uncle's back, or well, she did the news, she like called the news for the news story behind the uncle's back. She's like, you know, he'll want this, maybe he wanted to retire, maybe he wanted to let it go,
Which he did.
like,
he kind of was like, here, have it, gave it to her and her now boyfriend. He kind of was like, oh, you know, now it's going to be passed on to you guys.
Here's the thing, and I didn't get to this part. What is because I know it was coming. What is the thing that she does that pisses off like the person, and then it's like, oh no, I guess we're not going to have our Christmas thing. What is it? There's always a thing.
Because the friend whose daughter is Posey,
Yeah,
she's a news reporter, so she asks her if she could do a story on the lodge. And Corbin Bleu was like, no, I don't think that's a good idea because it's just going to be from a sad angle. It's just going to be like depressing, and they're going to make it seem like a bad thing. But she's like, no, we can make it fun and everything. But she does it anyway, so that causes a little bit of conflict.
I see.
Yeah,
I knew it. I was like, again, I need to watch this movie. I knew there's going to be something. It's going to be that moment where she does something that messes it up, and then she fixes it with a dance number to go with it. I'm sure
there was a dance number, but yeah, it was that whole that like, hey, we don't want to be pitied. Which honestly, you're about to lose everything you've ever had.
I'm
right,
not
so
broke.
you should be.
I'm not broke. I just can't pay my mortgage anymore. Like, people shouldn't be ashamed. Everybody has a Cash App in their profile now.
Also, were they trying to put the uncle with her mom?
Yes.
Okay, how is that going to work?
There was more chemistry there. There was more chemistry there than there was for the two main characters.
Well, it's not going. How's that going to work? If the two main characters end up dating and then end up together, isn't it going to be weird that your mom is also dating my uncle?
No,
yeah, a little bit.
No,
yeah.
I mean,
because it's weird.
Think about it. That makes you don't have to do two separate Christmas parties now. Everything's combined.
No,
you just go to one
weird.
place.
It just feels weird. It feels like
not,
because it's kind of like if you have a friend and your parents marry, and then but you're also kind of dating or interested in your friend as well, then you guys get married, then your in-law would also be
I think you lost yourself a little bit.
I think
it's only creepy.
Your step sister or your step brother would also be
your husband,
your partner.
Your partner. Yeah.
So that's where the lines.
I mean, granted, like she's like it's his uncle. So
yeah,
it's not
the
like
uncle.
His mom's dating.
Also, it wasn't
father, but still, it's close enough. I mean, his uncle raised him, so it's more or less like he's
mom and dad.
His father, yeah.
But it's also because I'm a big thing about that. I'm not okay. If you have to say, well, it's technically not incest, I back down and be like, no, that's gross. If you have to phrase it like that. But it's also different because it wasn't like she was projecting that's her uncle. That's everybody's uncle. No, it's like, oh, you're the uncle of my boy, or not. Well, my partner, I guess, my dance partner at the time.
Well, think
so there was a
If
relationship.
they
made it weird by dating.
No, because it's clear that they like each other, and that's why the uncle and mom was trying to be like, hey, you should hit up Barrett. You know, he seems really nice. He's a good guy, or whatever. And then so it's like you can't push me to date this guy, and then you start dating his uncle, because now if y'all get married, now my boyfriend is dating his like step
I think
cousin.
you're all thinking too much into it because you're not even able to form like the connection.
I just formed it for you. If that's his uncle, right? if he marries her mom, then that means that that'll be his step aunt. And therefore, she will be his step cousin.
Yeah, but they're also all adults. It's not like you're confused as a child being like, wait, that's my uncle and that's my mom. How are they going to do that? You are clearly aware you weren't raised in the same family as you were. So it's perfectly fine as long as nobody grew up in the same childhood home.
Remember,
If you have grown up in the same childhood home or share within 6 bloodlines of each other, absolutely not.
Remember
Well,
when
you could justify it all you want, but all I know is whenever people ask him, like, and whenever he talks about his girlfriend from this point forward, all his friends are going to be like, so you're dating your cousin. That's gross, dog.
Remember, this is kind of unrelated, but remember when you were a kid and your parent would have a good friend and they had a kid around your age and you'd be like, are they my cousin? Are you my cousin? And you
I still do that now with any. No, I do that now with every Mexican I meet. I call Omar my cousin. I call Jorge my cousin. We're just like, hey. So in all fairness, I do that already. Anytime I meet another Mexican, we're most likely cousins. Come here. We're family now. And that's it. So anybody around my age, you're like, you're my cousin. It's okay. Let's go. Was there any scenes you guys actually did like? Because I'm hearing a lot of critique from both of you.
Oh no! Here's the thing: is that I accept the movie. I accept the movie for what it is.
No, there's a difference between accepting it, but
it's a Lifetime movie, so it's like cheesy and hokey. But you know, it's Christmas film. Yeah,
there's something different between accepting contentment and being like, I watched it. Okay, I watched it. To was there an action?
I said it got me in the Christmas spirit, and especially with the dance numbers. I loved the dance numbers. I feel like that's when they were really in their element, and I really appreciated that. Right. And how they like remixed like Silent Night or Oh Holy Night.
Yeah, they did.
And they would dance to an instrumental version to that.
I will say one critique before I demand a more positive response out of you, Jerome, is I hate, but this is more about the dancing than less about the holiday. I hate when dancers do the swimming thing. Because that was in the big sequence at the end. They went like this. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand why that's still used in film. It's
a very 70s, it's a very 70s move.
It's stupid. You're swimming through nothing. Pretty much. Honestly, I think this would be less weird than the swim thing at that point. Jerome, one scene that you at least semi enjoyed or something more positive you can say other than like
something positive about this Christmas movie.
I accept it for who it is.
Who it is? Is this a person?
What it is. It feels personal to me.
It is. It takes the form of a human being once it gets to Lifetime Christmas movie.
This is yet another iCarly thing for me where I did like the cookie competition. I thought that was cute, especially once the kid was involved. She was very cute. But to be quite honest,
look, I found positives about Arcadia or Armenia.
I don't hate Armenia. See, you can't even get the name right.
Armadillo
of disrespect.
Armadillo. I found something positive about the armadillo. You can find something positive about this.
It's not armadillo. Until you say the name right, I'm just gonna keep talking about this movie the way I want to talk about it.
And our YouTube review of Arcadia has like the most views of any YouTube video on our channel,
seriously?
Yeah, but not a lot because
I'm about to say, how many is
No, it's not called Arcadia. Is it called Arcadia?
It's definitely
Arcade. Did I say Arcadia?
No, you said it wrong too.
Both of y'all getting flamed. Both of y'all getting burnt up again. This time, for the second time, getting the
crap. I don't even know how to say it close enough to find it and to search for it. I don't even know what it is. I found positives to speak about.
Arcadia, Armadillo, Armenia.
Just go to the YouTube page and you can see what our review title is.
Arcane.
I thought you had already figured out the name.
I had not. I genuinely had not, and I didn't know it enough to spell it on Google. So I had to look at my Netflix at the history. I found it. Arcane.
It's one word with 2 syllables.
So is Armenia. 4 syllables.
I'm about to say no, it's not.
The cookie.
Anyway, I think it's just that this movie, like, it's, you know what it is? It's that they're too happy for me. That's what it is. You know, I can't watch movies like this, all right, where they're just so happy and in love, and it's just like, man, y'all's life must be real good because y'all y'all don't really have any complaints. Like, oh, you know what scene though did make me laugh? When she's coming in to talk to Corbin Bleu, and she's like, you know, putting the plan together of like, oh, I could do this and we can do that, and then we'll like get things together. And then those two gay dudes just jump into their conversation and just being all like, hey, we can help too, us. And I'm like, I'm sorry, who was talking to you?
That's true. They did pop in. Actually, there was
Lifetime
quite.
said
There was quite a scene.
Lifetime said we're gonna insert this representation.
We're getting it. We already got the black couple. Let's get the gay couple.
Because we know Hallmark got flack for it a couple years back, so we ain't gonna face that heat.
They learned from Hallmark.
Make the same mistakes.
They learned the mistakes of Hallmark. That's why you always watch the Lifetime movies.
I can tell in one of the shots before they spoke to them, because it was like they shot it at an angle where it was only them and then Corbin Bleu and Monique Coleman in the shot. So I'm like, okay, they're gonna have some importance in the scene at some point.
They got some speaking lines.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I will admit, don't watch this movie if you just moved, all right, or just tired in general, because I did fall asleep a couple times.
Oh no!
I passed out, but it's only because I was just like, I don't care about this youth center. Sorry.
Yeah, there was also, and this comes out along with a lot of like the Lifetime Christmas films, the romance films. There's the longing gazes, and I understand they're making a connection and blah blah.
Well, I mean,
blah.
it happens in real life. You know, there are times where you just be staring at like your person that you're into, and they be staring back at you.
Yeah, I stare at people because I don't understand social cues. All right, that's why I end up staring at people, and you know what happens? They get uncomfortable. Like, I can't tell sometimes.
Okay, but that's not the person you're currently dating. Like, you know, if you're trying to get with somebody, like, you know, and you guys are really feeling each other.
The poor soul that tries to date me. You don't think I'm not going to do that to them? Why are you staring at me? I don't know if you're being funny or not.
No,
I'm trying to wait for social cues. They're gonna think, is that what they're gonna think? Oh, she's staring at me in a romantic way.
No, gaze is supposed to be that you're just in awe of this person. Right, Jonathan?
I'm an avid Lifetime Christmas film watcher, and I still never. I think the gaze is too much sometimes. I just don't like people looking at me directly.
That could be taken out of context. That could be taken out of context where you just said, "I think the gaze is too much for me."
Gaze with the Z. Excuse you. I am the only one on this podcast who is part of that community. I mean, honestly, the gays in this film were a lot. They kept popping out of nowhere. Like, they were forcing them to be in the film.
You're like, I were like, said it, but I'm a double down.
I will say it too. They like were like, okay, go now. It's an intimate moment. Let's have you interrupt it for no reason. They've done that multiple times
because they know they didn't give them anything else to do in the movie but be gay. So
and interrupt the poor film. Yeah.
Right. So they're just like, look, this is what you all have to do. Okay.
He simply could have been like, hey, I know a couple guys. They helped me with, the dancing too. Let's rope them in. They would totally be down to help. It's as simple as that. Because they got the other dance instructor, that other female character. She was all on board. Like, oh yeah, I'll help teach the youth more how to dance.
Did they try to do a love triangle thing with her? Because I thought, and I saw her, I was like, ooh, wait, Monique might have some competition
for like a solid second, but then no. It looked like they were going to, because at the beginning, Corbin Bleu character and her character were dancing very closely and very, I don't want to say intimately, but kind of intimately. It was just, the closeness of the dance, which had that energy. But at the same time, once they stopped, it was like, oh, no, there's nothing there. It was mainly just a dance. It was a dance. There was a dance. But other than that, her character only really pops up with the kids. Like, oh, kids are dancing. I'm here. So there was no love triangle at all, and there was never a moment where she talks about anybody back home either. So they didn't have that, which I kind of appreciated. I always find that annoying because it's like, one, I find that creepy because it's always like somebody being like, well, you can't have them. They're not yours. You guys haven't started dating. Have you made a move? Have he made a move? Anybody make moves at all? No, you guys share an intimate dance. Everybody's sharing the gaze with a Z.
I will admit,
G-A-Z-E.
I have met some girls that is their mentality of like, I mean, we're not together, but like, you know, like he already knows that we're gonna be together, so we're basically. I'm like, okay, but have you actually talked to him, and has he decided that y'all are together? Because if not, he can date whoever he wants.
If you know adult women like this, I'm scared. Proper adult women should not happen like this. All right. I don't have the best mentality, and even I know no. But I find that plot always so annoying. And I thought for a second they were going to have it because, like I said, in the first like 15 minutes of the film, they shoved in like 5 common stereotypic plot lines. The meeting of the old love, the father's dead, Christmas, lawyer, stressed out lawyer, and then like, I think, oh yeah, saving the youth center. So there was like everything really quickly.
What about the kids?
No, it wasn't the youth. It was the lodge where they teach youth how to dance.
Like, you know,
it was a beautiful lodge with antlers everywhere.
Either that or wreaths. Those were your 2 options. You can put an antlers in your room or a Christmas wreath. You make a choice. But just know you are getting one or the other.
I don't know. Grease can bring bugs. Like spiders can hide in there.
All right, antlers it is. Here you go. Yeah, enjoy your stay.
Okay, I just broke my desk chair falling on it, and I fell down the stairs this morning. Like, are we thinking it's a good idea to have anything pointed near me, such as antlers?
Look, ma'am, I just work at the lodge, okay? Now you're gonna take the antlers.
Why don't I get like ornaments or the tree? Or like, can I just
be in a place but that we're gonna charge that extra on your room cost.
Now see, now that's bullshit.
What
every room, look, every room should come with its own personalized tree in its own style of theme.
You get your own personalized wreath.
I bet you there are hotels that do that.
Right. See?
Where you get your
Jonathan's the other guest in the lodge lobby just walks up.
It's like,
there actually are some other places there.
Yeah, like down the road, I saw one. They had a special reindeer room. Every doorknob was Rudolph's nose.
What? So they were hot doorknobs, or they
didn't have to be hot. You can make doorknobs glow. Just
you know what is a hot doorknob in Home Alone when Kevin like makes the doorknob hot.
See, there are ways to make the room more festive. Yeah,
I guess that's true. Also, though, it's like every time I watch Home Alone, I'm always like, okay, that's your fault. All right, you can't blame the kid on that one. It's actively glowing. What makes you think you could just open it? Like you should?
Why did you also let it go? Like I burned myself so many times. It's a reflex release.
Release. He just held it. Just let his hand sizzle. It's just like, what is wrong with you? Let go of the doorknob.
See, but nobody got burnt or hurt or physically hurt. I will say, oh my God, his apartment in this film was great. I want to find a lodge. I want to find an apartment like that.
Corbin Bleu's apartment?
Yeah.
Do you see his apartment?
Yeah. Nearing the end when he starts.
See, no,
it was after he started to forgive her. But it was an apartment again in the lodge, which had all the wood and stuff. But I always love that one of them will always have a space. It's just a huge like window and bay sitting area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need that for my next apartment.
Right? I just want
the little. It's like a little alcove, but you can like it's like a little sit and reading nook.
Yeah, I would love to have a space like that and just throw a bunch of pillows and blankets on there. I'd probably end up sleeping on there and then fall through the window once I rolled too hard.
There will be no falling out of windows for you.
I've rolled so hard into my wall, I've given myself a bloody nose.
Oh,
Jonathan, I cannot be trusted with anything.
All right, you know what? Screw the antlers. We're just gonna give you a
Decorative
pass
pillows.
to the gift shop here in the lodge. You can go on down there and
See?
you'll get a 30% discount. And you can just get whatever you want.
See, that's how you haggle because I'm a liability. I will take everybody down with me.
Liability.
You know what? I'm the one taking down the Christmas lodge because of the antlers.
All
You're
right.
you're gonna be the Alex. You're gonna be the person in about 20 years who, instead of the people who like throw water on the grocery store floor and slip and fall, you're gonna be festive about it. So you're gonna throw some eggnog on the floor.
Which is what's in my mug. I have been the entire time I've been drinking eggnog. Which, by the way, this is my Christmas mug. I already got approval from the guys to promote it. It says nothing for you, whore. It's a cute little Santa. And I got it from a lovely store called Untamidagel, which I will put the little hashtag of the company. They were really great because this got lost in the mail. And they were very nice. And we're like, oh, if it doesn't show up, we'll send you one. But it showed up in time. And I love it. And yes, I have been drinking eggnog because I'm in the season. Let me enjoy.
Spiked eggnog.
I just, now thinking about it being a manic episode for these people in Lifetime movies, I just want one of my manic episodes to end this way. With an attractive person making out with them in front of a Christmas tree after building a snowman in the snow by a gazebo. And none of my episodes have ended that beautifully.
You have to have some sort of mildly inconvenient plot. It can't be too dramatic for Lifetime, but it has to be like mildly inconvenient. Like it might damper your Christmas day a little bit.
My whole existence dampers my day. That should be enough, shouldn't it?
Listen, I can't tell you that you should what to do. Okay, I can't do that. But what I can tell you is you probably shouldn't be having manic episodes in general. And if you are, you should talk to somebody because that's not good.
They are monitored now by my lovely therapist, and I do take medicine. I admit that. So I'm honest about my mental health. I am under care and watching. They aren't as frequent. They do still happen, but I'm just saying when they occur, very, very, very infrequently, when they do occur, all I do is either cut my hair or just spend a lot of money. I don't save lodges. I don't end up kissing a beautiful person in the snow. And I don't even make snowmen. I want to make a snowman.
I save lodges. It's what I do.
I got to go find a bankrupt lodge. But I can't dance. I got to find some other Lifetime movie to plot my life against.
Also, sorry to go off topic, but I just saw this. I didn't realize our Arcane review has 83 views right now. It's only been out a week. We have 2 likes and 1 dislike. So hop on over to the YouTube and check that out. Yeah, we got 1. I imagine it's probably for Alex.
Oh, you know what? I was going to say something, but I was going to use a term. Nope.
I'm just saying, you're the only one who hated the show.
I didn't. I hated it. I was going to say I didn't, but I'm not going to lie on Christmas. All right.
Double down.
It's true. No, I'm sticking with it. I like Lifetime Christmas movies more than I liked the Tales or Legends or whatever they are of Arcane.
Is the game.
Tales
Arcade is the show.
I am more interested in her chiffon jacket than I am in your Arcane game or animation.
That's how it be sometimes.
Hey,
Is
that
how it be sometimes?
You know why? Because that chiffon jacket probably costs more than the whole production of Arcane.
I doubt that.
Those
listen,
amazing
you know how much
leather...
they paid for that Imagine Dragons song? All right, that's a bank.
You can try to tell me, but I know she paid more for those knee-high tan leather boots than they ever paid for those Imagine Dragons songs.
We all have our things. There are some Oscar-winning movies that I would probably fall asleep and or walk out on. But when I'm watching Big Brother and people are competing in squirrel costumes, I'm all about it.
I'm sorry. Did you just say squirrel costumes?
Yes, you did.
Sometimes.
I am happy to say that nobody
Jonathan?
in my Christmas Lifetime movies have ever worn squirrel costumes. One has worn a snowman outfit. I admit that. And Santa plays a lot in a role. But never squirrel. Why were they climbing trees? Was that the thing? Were they looking for
It's just costumes. They're like they'll be in dog costume, like yeah, any type of costume you can think of. There's been a competition based off of it.
Is the costume and the competition like going together at least? Like
Yeah, it's like a themed competition.
okay, because I can't just have them walking around and oh my god. Going really off topic, and I've talked about this multiple times before. I don't like furries. Stick with me. All right. And I was explaining what a furry was to my coworker. Again, stay with me. And after I explained it to her, I'm like, yeah, I'm just not comfortable. They kind of freak me out. Even like big humanoid looking animal, half humanoid creatures freak me out. And all of a sudden, again, at work in our little phone room, it was just me and her. I'm like looking at my computer screen. She's like, oh, so you wouldn't like Shrek the musical. And I just was like, I'm sorry? What? Really?
You didn't know about Shrek the musical?
Hey, yeah, let's say you haven't heard.
I'm aware of Shrek the musical. However, I did not put together how many animals there were in actual Shrek to how many animals are probably now there. And I had a breakdown a little bit. She was like, shh. And I'm like, no, you don't come in here with the talk of furries and be like, oh, you're not gonna like Shrek the musical. And then I'm like, oh wait, donkey. And she's like, and the three little pigs. I'm like, oh my god, and the wolf. I'm like, they're
And
all
Puss in
animals.
Boots.
So one of these days when Shrek the musical comes to Seattle or LA, we're gonna have to watch it.
No, we don't. No, that is not a thing. I was
It's
freaking
set in
out.
stone now.
I couldn't
Alex
look at her for the rest of the day because I've never made that connection in my life. That Shrek the musical has just a bunch of furries dancing around stage.
Pretty much.
And see, closer to a mental breakdown from Shrek the musical, and still no attractive people in snow.
All right.
Nothing.
All right. What's your grade, folks? All right. I'll go first. Mine will be submitted one day when I finish this movie. All right, moving on.
You made Jonathan give a grade for his 10 minutes.
No, I
said, oh, did you never did
give a grade? I said his
Fine.
would be submitted in 6 months when he predicted that's when he would actually get around to finishing Arcade.
Jonathan was excused from Arcade. You are excused from this.
Did you just say Arcade?
I did. Good job. You caught that one. I didn't think you were for a split second. All right. Jonathan, what did you think?
I'm going to give it a solid C plus. It and this is on a curve, but
it's on a curve.
You okay?
How do you do a movie review on a curve?
Like this.
It gave
that's if you want to call this a review. I don't even know if we really talked about the technicals of how this movie.
We didn't talk about the movie too much. We talked about holiday Lifetime movies in general, but not too much.
Basically, talking a movie,
right? But it did give me my holiday feels. It got me more into the Christmas spirit, and for that I appreciate.
You say his Christmas spirit. You summon a Christmas tree.
It's just how fast that tree went up. Like
it was instant.
It was summoned.
Oh, I loved seeing Monique Coleman and Corbin Bleu back on screen together again. They were very underutilized in the High School Musical series, so I'm glad that they got their own spinoff storyline. You could argue that this is a spinoff movie of High School
Musical.
Musical.
What happened with them after Troy and what's her face got together, and now Corbin and what's her face
they get their own story.
In fact, if I think about it that way, I'm gonna bump it up to a B minus. So
okay, but that's not the movie though. You can't give it a grade off a movie.
He can do whatever he wants.
So yeah, that is my review.
I wanted
love
Malcolm and Marie to be an extension of Euphoria, but that it wasn't, so I didn't add that to my grade.
And that's why the grade kept going lower.
Alex, what's your grade in final thoughts?
I'll give it a B because there wasn't as much conflict as I would have liked.
Same. I agree.
I will agree they were just too happy. Everything clicked too well, and they kept the lore story. They didn't have that piece of conflict till like almost the very end too, and then almost immediately. It was actually the same night, only a few hours later. He goes like, "Oh, I'll forgive her. All right," and pretty good. Like there was no like redemption moment of her being like, "Oh yeah, I messed up, but look what I did," or he's like, "Oh, I messed." It was kind of like, "All right, let's make peace already." Like only after like 2 hours. So I will say that bothered me a bit. Again, also that this just bothers me across the board of all Christmas movies is the clothing, except for Home Alone. They all wore appropriate clothing.
That's because I think they actually filmed in the cold.
Yeah,
in the winter.
It was cold. So it was all just that of like they never wear anything proper. Scarves are never worn intentionally the way they were supposed to. Nobody buttons up their jacket either. I mean, it was just windy out there today, and I'm like buttoned up. I'm zipped up to here. I'm cold.
I know there was like that TikTok video where it was like the costume designer for a Hallmark or Lifetime movie.
I post on the with it.
Oh yeah, that's where I got it from. Yeah, that's where I saw it.
But they're like, sweaters must always be worn loosely. All lipsticks are bright red, and they showed 2 pairs of heels.
Never to be wrapped around the neck. Always draped loosely.
Always, they must wear red and green. It doesn't matter if it conflicts in coloring. It's the spirit of Christmas, and it is red and green.
Well, red goes with almost anything.
Red and green actually don't look that great together.
No, not red and green together. I'm saying red. Like you can wear the singular red scarf,
right? Which
and
is
it would
fine.
go with almost anything. Green is a bit trickier because it's a very unique color.
I don't think I own anything green actually. So
I have like a forest green shirt. I think that's the only green thing I have in my closet.
That would be fine. Any forest greens or like warmer greens are great. But when you start moving into like the actual color green, not great. So this is a green that's fine. I own a blanket or anything. One thing I love about all the Christmas Lifetime movies is just the extraness of Christmas in these films. Transformations from the inside to the outside, everything is like screaming Christmas, and it's just that heartfelt moment of like there's nothing but Christmas in the world. And I'm not a big celebrator to it. I don't follow the Christian faith or anything like that, but I find it warm and welcoming and sweet, and it just becomes like this holiday of warmth and just like I want to be around with people around a campfire or a fireplace and just enjoy the company of others, which I'm not one for. All right, I love y'all, but I'm not a social person. I often stay away from social events. I'd like to, but I'm just not. And this movie kind of gives that vibe of like, oh, you can just sit by the fire. You don't have to interact or talk. You can just be there. And that's what I love. Also, I just want a like 6'7" guy by the tree in the snow. I'm just
Corbin
putting
Bleu
it out there in the room.
6'7".
I don't know what he is. I just want something.
Are you looking up his height?
No.
Oh.
No. Wait.
I thought you were about to.
Is I was about to say, is he 6'7"? He doesn't look it.
I don't.
No, I believe he's of average height, so not my type. Look, if I'm gonna be with a guy, I want him to have to like lean a little bit when walking in doorways. That's my only restriction for males. Just lean a little bit when you have to go. But no, I just think they're just really festive movies, and they're just simple. And for somebody who loves like horror and stuff, horror movies are also quite predictable. You kind of can plot the twist and turn. And that's also what I like about the Christmas Lifetime movies. You can plot the twists and turns and just enjoy it, kind of like a sleigh ride. You just go with it and enjoy it. You know it's coming at the end, but you get to enjoy the scenery. You can enjoy the warmth of the blanket and just have some fun along the way.
True.
With that being said,
Christmas.
I was about to put a Mary in front of it, but Jerome is just like Christmas.
Christmas aggressively.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you're celebrating. Yes, celebrate it well, safely. Is this technically our Christmas episode? I mean,
I don't know.
Kind of vibing that way.
We have one more to do.
We have more to
Christmas
do.
Eve. We haven't done our recorded our episode that
Don't give away the
we're
mystery.
gonna release on Christmas. So so we still got some stuff going.
well, happy celebration holiday month.
Happy month of December for whatever
Yes.
you celebrate it or don't celebrate.
It's
Just
early enough in
keep-
December.
Yeah, just keep warm and
Yes,
be safe
Stay
out
safe.
there.
Yeah.
yes.
So anyway, socials.
Socials.
Alex, where can
Um,
people find you?
On Instagram at Alex and Nobody, as well as TikTok, Alex and Cheddar, where I post videos of Cheddar, and the TikTok account of the podcast, First Ones to Die, where I showed little snippets of this. You can find me talking about Armenia, Arcadia, or whatever it is called on there as well. As well as that is the name of all our social media accounts, such as on Instagram, Twitter, and also our email. If you guys want to send us a little thing, go ahead and rate us anywhere you find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that fun stuff. And what about you guys? Where can we find you two?
You can find me at Jonathan Keys on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you please. Jerome, where can we find you?
You can find me at Not Jerome Rhett on Instagram, as well as at RoboZoo Media to see all the other things I'm working on and stuff. And then you can follow us, this podcast and everything we do at the First Ones to Die on all our social medias, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and so on and so forth. If you're looking, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're looking for the audio version of this podcast, you can find it on Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. And if you're vice versa, you listen to the audio version, go on over to the First Ones to Die YouTube channel. You can find not only
See the tree make an appearance, multiple appearances.
You can see the tree. You could see the video version of all of our podcasts, but also extra content as well, like gaming content, vlog stuff, mini reviews, book reviews, all types of stuff. So come on over, check out stuff. See the Arcane review. It's at 83 views right now. You can bump it up to 84 or 85 or however many more numbers you can do.
Leave me a comment. I'll fight you in it. Come for me, gamers. This is gonna be fun.
All right. With that being said, we'll see y'all next week for whatever we decide to talk about.
For something.
Yes.
We'll see.
And take care. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.